The second parachain auction on Kusama has ended and we have a new winner, Moonriver. So will Moonriver make Kusama go to the moon? Today, in exchange for your very valuable time, we're going to talk about the Kusama parachain auctions, Moonriver and the Moonriver token. So let's do it! In my previous video, we talked a little bit more about these Kusama crowd loans and also about the parachain auctions, and then we talked about the very first winner of the very first parachain slot on Kusama. Now, if you want to learn a little bit more about those crowd loans on Kusama and the parachain auctions, but also the first winner, which was Karura, then definitely check out the previous video. We, of course, just completed the second auction on Kusama, and this is going to have a duration, or at least the slot is going to have a duration of about 48 weeks, I believe. The bidding, of course, has ended on June 29th, and the slot duration is going to be from June 29th until May 13th of 2022. And of course, for the next couple of weeks, we are going to have 3 more auctions. The third auction is already in progress, and then there's going to be 2 additional auctions. So these are going to take place every week, and after these 5 auctions, these are likely going to take place every 2 weeks. So as we said, Moonriver has won the second parachain auction with total contributions of 205,935 Kusama, which is about $45 million based on $220 per Kusama token, of course. And the number 1, or the number 2 actually, of this second parachain auction was Shiden. Now, I believe they raised about 96,812, so that is a little bit less than half of what Moonriver has been able to raise in the second parachain auction. But I do believe that Shiden could very well be the winner of the third parachain auction, because right now, if we go to the website of Kusama, we can see that Shiden is definitely in the lead for now in this third parachain auction. So I do believe that is going to be the winner of the third one. So what is Moonriver exactly? Well, Moonriver is the sister parachain on Kusama for Moonbeam, which is just like Karura and Akala on Kusama and Polkadot respectively, as we have talked about in our previous video about Karura, which has won the first parachain auction on Kusama. Lots of difficult names, I imagine, but yeah, hopefully you're still catching up. So Moonriver is the sister parachain for Moonbeam. Moonriver is going to launch on Kusama. Moonbeam is going to launch on Polkadot. And Moonriver can be used to basically test new code for Moonbeam and then verify these codes or this code under a real economic conditions on Kusama. So once this code is proven, then the same code can be shipped to Moonbeam on Polkadot when Moonbeam is actually going to have a parachain on Polkadot. Moonriver and Moonbeam are going to be Ethereum-like environments where people can deploy smart contracts. You might have heard about those. Well, the thing is, because of Kusama being a bridge to Ethereum as well, because there can be a bridge between the Kusama network and the Ethereum network, and of course later on when Polkadot is going to be launched, there's also going to be a bridge between Polkadot and Kusama, but also Polkadot and Ethereum and other blockchains as well. So because Kusama has a bridge between Kusama, the network itself, and Ethereum, that network, it is very easy for developers of smart contracts to make smart contracts on Kusama and later on Polkadot and deploy them on those 2 networks. But what they can also do is deploy existing smart contracts from the Ethereum network onto Kusama using that bridge between those 2 networks. And Moonriver can definitely be considered to be a community-led parachain, because the community members are going to own the majority of the tokens of Moonriver, the MOVR token, MOVR token, and this is going to be up to 30% of the total amount of tokens because of the parachain crowd loan. So that is going to be definitely a very large portion of the entire amount of MOVR tokens out there. So the community members are going to get a considerable control over the direction of the Moonriver network. The Moonriver token has an inflation rate of about 5% annually and is going to have an uncapped supply. But at the same time, there's a deflationary force because 80% of the transaction fees are burned. Now, I don't know exactly if the 5% inflation is after burning these transaction fees or before burning those transaction fees. So what is the utility of this token, of the Moonriver token, the MOVR mover token? Well, it is going to be used for multiple things at the same time. First of all, it's going to be used for gas metering. This basically means that the token is going to be used to assign a price to the execution of the smart contracts. Apart from that, it's also going to be used by the token holders to have governance over the network to basically control the direction of the network. And it's also going to be used, of course, to pay for the transaction transaction fees on the Moonriver network. So if you want my brief thoughts about Moonriver and later on Moonbeam too, I believe that parachains like Moonriver are definitely necessary as a bridge between Kusama, the network Kusama, and the Ethereum network. And at the same time, of course, Moonbeam is also going to be necessary as a bridge between Polkadot and Ethereum. And I believe that when Kusama and Polkadot are becoming more popular, the developers are going to want to deploy their smart contracts not only on Ethereum but also on Kusama and also on Polkadot. And Moonriver and Moonbeam are definitely going to help with that. So I'm very much looking forward to hearing from you as well. Do you believe that Moonriver and Moonbeam are going to be essential for Kusama and Polkadot? Let me know in the comments. And with that being said, thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye!